Hello beer lovers, this is John here again. Welcome to Beer Tour in Seoul. Today I got you another Korean craft beer. It is a green grape ale by Malpyo brewery. There were two flavors that I hope those brewers that are out there in the world to make a nice can of green grape flavored beer and melon flavored beer. I saw a green grape version from Hoegaarden. They have a green grape flavored beer, but I've never seen a melon flavor yet. But today we're getting to know about this specific beer by Malpyo, the green grape flavor. Let's get into it. So as you know, I did a introduction video of the Malpyo in a previous while back. It was dark beer. If you haven't watched the video in the previous upload that I've done, Malpyo is initially a shoe polish company. They make shoe polish and it's one of the biggest shoe polish company. I think it's the only company. Well, I'm not too sure about the shoe polish at all, but the Malpyo is definitely the big company known for making shoe polish in South Korea. So that's what they aimed. They wanted to enter a beer market with their own style, and since they were making shoe polish, which the color is dark and black, obviously they went for a dark beer. But this month, they've released a new beer. It's an ale, which contradicts, it's an opposite of their initial release of the dark beer. It's an ale, so we will be seeing, when I pour the beer in a glass, a clear and a bright, or since this isn't white beer, I will explain in a minute what the white beer is about. It should be hazy gold color. So it contradicts from their initial release of the dark beer, their first created beer, and now they've made something opposite. So let's open it up and take a look inside. I've had a Hoegaarden before. Hoegaarden, the alcohol percentage has their alcohol percentage was 3.5%, and this here is 4%. So when I opened the can and I sniffed it from the top of the can that was opened up here, there was definitely the green grape flavor, but there is a stronger alcohol from the smell. I guess that 0.5% really does the work, bringing up that alcohol aroma. And as you can see, it's hazy gold, not transparent through the glass. I guess it's because during the brewing process, they've added the green grape extract liquid. So it's not that they've added a grape in it, but they've used something that was already extracted in liquid form. The smell is pleasant, the aroma I mean, since I like the green grapes a lot, especially the shine musket. So the green grape flavor for the shine musket is one of the favorite grapes that I would go for. Yeah, the aroma is very pleasant. Let's have a taste. Cheers. Huh. It's definitely light-bodied, and there is a full, rich flavors of those green grapes, obviously. However, there is something that I unexpected, which is the sweetness. The sweetness is almost a little bit of honey was input in this brewing process, but it hasn't. But it's almost that much of sweetness present in this liquid, so that's unexpected. As you can see, there isn't a foam accumulated. And last couple of videos back, I've explained the importance of having the foam's accumulation when drinking a beer, because that foam at the top of the liquid will prevent that carbonation leaving out, keeping that liquid fresh, or let's say maintain the freshness of the beer if you get it tapped, right? So like I've mentioned, there is a Hoegaarden's green grape flavor beer. The ratings are not that great, it's half and half. I guess it's because if you would try something new in your life, especially for beer. Like myself, I tried Guinness for my first time, I absolutely hated it. And I tried IPA first time, I absolutely hated it. Sort of a prejudice within tasting the beer, because we are so used to drinking that lager type beers, that carbonation, malty flavor, and that refreshingness, that thirst quenching, and that sensation of just flushing away your thirst out of your system. That was just enough from a beer in one perspective, not knowing there are craft beers that are out there in the world. I guess the ratings being that half and half is because we have that kind of prejudice against it, you know, because it's the first time they've tried the green grape flavor, although the brewers meant a good and they've assembled the ideas to make the green grape flavor beer, you know, that inspired by relaxation and the scenery of the vineyard. That was the idea they put into a beer, because beer is supposed to give you that relaxation time overall, generally. So green grape flavor, the vineyard, peaceful scenery, the beer kind of matches, so they went for it. The ratings are half and half because people just, it's unusual type of beer, because you know, unfortunately not many people know about the craft beer, and that grape flavor, green grape flavor is something unusual in the beer sceneries. Green grape flavored beers, Hoegaarden and this Malpyo, it uses the top fermentation processes to focus that green grape flavor, and that's something called white beer. White beer, it's a word, another word for wheat beer, which translates to English the white beer. It's an ale, of course. Ales are supposed to give that goldiness in color. So I guess I understand why some people would give, of course, a good ratings on this beer and in this type of beer, and some of them won't. It's because it's very light for a beer, and that flavor, that sweetness, and if those people who are just stuck with the lagers, refreshingness, and the malty flavor, and that average lager flavors, then this will be something they would consider this as some kind of a pop drinks, you know, those carbonated drinks, non-alcoholic, you know, like pops, cokes, you know, those that you can get it from the convenience store for a couple of bucks, right? So they would not consider this as a drink. Although this is another style of beer, they would not try to understand it because the flavor just doesn't match with their ideal of a beer. That being said, yeah, sure, that's understandable, but as a person who knows that there are craft beers that are out there, such as delicious field beers are out there, from IPAs, wheat beer, lager ale, and stouts, and etc. Down those long and big route of the beer sceneries. Sure, we understand that there is flavors like this existing in the beer world. So in that kind of knowledge, when drinking this beer specifically, I personally like green grape flavors, so I'm okay with the taste. Just one thing that in mind is that I never expected that sweetness to be this high. And alcohol dosage, overall, it's okay. 4%, it's not that high. It's not high or low, right? So I'd say that green grape flavor, if they could have somehow found a way to make it a little bit more crispier and less of that sweetness, maybe a little bit foamy too, because what I like about wheat beer, especially for those banana flavored beers, the wheat beers, the bison beers, is that foaminess and the mouthful feel, you know, that, yeah. So anyways, I can't think of the word. Anyways, you know what I mean. Personally, I'm saying if they would have lowered that sweetness, maybe more of a foam to give that mouthful, rich mouthfulness when drinking the beer. A little bit of acidity, I would say, or bitterness would have done a little bit better the job than this. Although this is a great beer, I am just personally speaking in my own reference of tasting beer. And overall, this is good, not a failure. Good job. So that being said, I'm gonna rate this beer a 4.6 out of 5. I'm a huge fan of green grapes. This is a personally speaking, so don't get offended if you hate green grapes. But they've done a well job to sustain that green grape flavor above all the characteristics as a beer, as a wheat beer as well. There's no malty flavors that you can feel from it. They only solely emphasizes these green grape flavors, which is the idea. But the sweetness was just overdone. It feels that sweetness is more thicker than that grape overall flavor. So that sweetness just sits on palates for too long, and it's kind of greasy, I would say in my words, describe the sensation I feel from drinking this beer. I think if they would have known how to sustain quite a bit of foam at the top of liquid, that would make an ideal image of a beer, and that's what I would wish they would have done. But overall, it's a great beer, especially during the hot summer like this 2021. Currently the weather is really hot, and this would be a good choice to have. Not bad, delicious. If you can't grab one of these from your local store, please go and try and taste it your own and leave your your own thoughts down below in the comments. But if you can't, there's Hoegaarden green grape flavored beer, which is 3.5% alcohol. This is 4%. There's only 0.5% of the difference in alcohol base. Yeah, go on and try, and please leave your own thoughts down in the comment, because green grapes right now has a half and half ratings. Half of people like it, half of people don't. So it will be a very, very interesting discussion to have in this style of beer. So anyways, guys, this was Malpyo green grape flavored beer. It's a delicious beer. Go on and try it. And this, myself, is John, and this was Beer Tour in Seoul. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and I will come back with a whole lot of interesting craft beer from South Korea. There are lots to go. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.